The CEO was shocked to discover that his classmate's wife looked exactly like his own. Could his wife have committed bigamy? To confirm whether they were the same person, he decided to attend his classmate's wedding. Just then, his wife called, telling him she was visiting her parents in their hometown and would be back in a few days. Determined to catch her in the act, the CEO played along and promised her a surprise when she returned.
真的吗？老公，太好了，爱你。
After hanging up, he rushed to the wedding venue. Before long, he arrived at the hotel where the wedding was being held. Guests were all boasting about how the groom had married a wealthy wife. The CEO didn't join the excitement. Instead, he calmly walked up to the couple's wedding photos. As he was still unsure whether the bride was truly his wife, his classmate's next words gave him the answer.
叶晨，这就是我的老婆，长青集团的总裁。
At that moment, the CEO finally realized his wife had betrayed him. Not long ago, he had transferred ownership of Changqing Group to his wife. So if the bride was the president of Changqing Group, there could be no doubt it was her. Meanwhile, their former classmates, still believing the CEO was the poor guy he used to be, ridiculed him for staring at the groom's beautiful wife as if he were mesmerized. Just then, their old teacher noticed the CEO had arrived in a luxury Porsche worth millions. But before anyone could react, the groom stormed over and punched the CEO without hesitation. "That's my wife's car," he roared. "You shameless pretty boy. How dare you drive my wife's car to my wedding?" To prove his point, he pulled out photos of himself and the bride inside the car. Seeing the evidence, the snobbish classmates immediately turned on the CEO, cursing him as a gold-digging homewrecker. Even their old teacher distanced himself, claiming he had never taught such a morally corrupt student. To humiliate the CEO further, the groom grabbed a can of paint and sprayed the words "homewrecker must die" across the Porsche. Not satisfied, the groom picked up a rock and smashed the car's windows. The other classmates, eager to curry favor with him, rushed forward to help. After all, marrying a female CEO meant his future was limitless. In their frenzy, they even ripped apart an antique painting worth 300 million, assuming the CEO had bought it with his wife's money. How else could a former pauper afford such a thing? While they continued their destruction, the CEO remained calm. He simply took out his phone and made a call. Seeing his defiance, the groom grew even more enraged and ripped off the jade pendant around the CEO's neck. That pendant was a protective talisman his mother had obtained after kneeling in prayer at a temple for 3 days and nights. The CEO demanded its return, but instead of giving it back, the groom smashed it to pieces. At that moment, the CEO snapped. He landed a fierce punch on the groom, but before he could retaliate further, the snobbish classmates swarmed him, pinning him to the ground and mercilessly beating him. Even their teacher joined in. The CEO was left defenseless under their relentless assault. Just then, a fleet of luxury cars pulled up outside the hotel, and stepping out of one of them was none other than the CEO's wife, the bride of today's wedding.